All right. Good morning, everybody. Just going to wait for some people, I guess, to get in here. What's going on, Austin Sinjay? Welcome, everybody. Doing another Monday morning live here. Just going to wait for a few people to join. The whole purpose of these lives, is kind of to bring the Heal Los Angeles message and mission. Let me take these off. I'm editing right now, so I'll hear myself better. But the whole purpose of these lives is to kind of continue that Heal LA mission into the virtual space, because right now, obviously, with the pandemic that's been going on, we haven't been able to engage in interpersonally. You know what I mean? So there's this part of the Heal Los Angeles Foundation. It's a big part of it that's inspired by my father's teachings and the life experiences that he's given me that I feel are important for our progression as a humanity moving forward. And I feel that it's important that I share these with the people because they were not fortunate enough to have these experiences with my father like I did. John Muto also feels the same way. He's our president, and he has a lot of similar life experiences, either through the inspiration that my father gave him or through his parents and his upbringing. So what I want to talk today about is confidence. And so just no pressure at all. Again, we have the fundraiser for the Heal Los Angeles Foundation. All the proceeds go towards the Heal Los Angeles Foundation, and we are using them to enact awesome programming in the city of Los Angeles for inner city youth. It's really great stuff that we have coming down the pipeline. And we're just so excited, so honored, and so blessed that we can help the people that we're trying to help. So no pressure, but I just want to get into this, and I want to talk about something about confidence. And this may get a little woohoo out there type of stuff and talk a little bit about subconscious, but anything that I'm going to talk about, to be honest, I can't say I've done a lot of research. It's all just life experience, what I've done, what I've seen my father do, what I've seen people around me do. And I've seen that it works, so it may sound like it's really crazy, and I just need you to stick with me for a little bit. All right. So, one thing I think that's very important, and it was taught to me by my father, is self-love. And you can't really love someone else if you don't truly love yourself and you accept yourself. And for us to heal the world, we have to lead with love. And for us to love our neighbors or to love our cousins, whoever it is, we have to truly have love and understanding of ourselves. So I don't want to go too far out and talk about crazy stuff, but I think it's so important, especially for kids my age and younger, because I see just from a consensus or a general perspective, there seems to be a lack of confidence. And there's some exercises that I think are very important to help build confidence, because some people are born confident, and that's 100% fine. Some people are born arrogant, and that's not fine. So it's really, you got to know a balance between there. And it starts with the subconscious and really how you frame things. And one thing that I've been thinking about a lot is just an exercise. I actually saw this on Instagram, but it's something that my father had instilled in me, and then it was like activated when I saw this, some stranger just validate what he was saying. And it's the type of words and language you use on yourself subconsciously. They affect how you think, and they affect your reality. So if you watch the previous video that I did, or the live, it's still up on my page, we talked a little bit about, I talked a little bit about how the power of your thoughts and how you think can shape your reality and what it actually is. So with this, it's very similar. And the greatest example that I can give you is that, and it's helped me so much, is when you're running late. And if you know me, I don't run late. I'm always 10 minutes early. So if I'm running late, it's usually because of something that's out of my control. Traffic, accident, whatever it is. You know what I mean? I plan for that stuff. So this is why it's very applicable to me. But instead of saying, I'm sorry I'm running late, you say, thank you for being patient. And it's that simple change in verbs and words that will reinforce. It doesn't make you seem like a bad person. Okay. And that's why it's going to be a little bit woohoo and out there. And it is something that takes practice to do, because when you say sorry for being late, you're admitting a wrong, or you're admitting, some fault. And if you do have a fault in why you're late, you should definitely own up and fess up to that. But the whole purpose of what I'm trying to explain right now is that it's this new mentality, this new framework, and to change the words that you use with positive synonyms, because that'll slowly start to change how you think and how you represent yourself to yourself. And then that will just be projected outwardly towards other people. So if you're running late and you did everything you could, instead of saying sorry for being late, you say thank you for being patient, or thank you for waiting. And it's, again, I don't have any research to tell you, you know what I mean? It's going to do this to your frontal cortex or some weird stuff like that. But you at some point will start to see a change in your thought process. A lot of you know that my father wrote messages on mirrors and stuff like that. I know my cousin Taj has talked about it. A lot of people have talked about it. But I don't really think people understand the importance of why that he was doing that. And it's not just to write something up on the mirror. It was a mantra. You know, it's something that he would look at in the mirror. It's something that he would say out loud to himself. And the one that I can give you just off the top of my head, there's so many that he wrote, is that I am the greatest artist of all time. And he had told himself that so many times, and he had believed it so much that look at where he got, you know, and that's obviously such an extreme case. And it's just so enormous. It's very hard to be relatable to, but it's that same principle of programming yourself to think, I can do this, or I am going to do this, or whatever it is, instead of saying that, you know what, it's too hard, or it's going to be a problem. Likewise, when I started doing my first, music videos, the director, he presents me with something he wants to do, let's say. And I would say, yo, that's impossible. You know what I mean? There's no way they're going to let us do that. And through the production, they just said, just ask. You know what I mean? Just ask. Well, and nothing hurts from just asking. So with my mentality of saying that's not possible, that's not going to happen, I already came at it with a negative connotation, and it wasn't going to happen. But because I had somebody who really believed it could happen if we just asked, so much stuff happened like that. We got locations, we got actors, we got food, we got camera just for asking. And it's having that mentality that anything is possible if you believe. And, we're not going to go all the way out there and say like you're going to start flying if you truly believe, but who knows? So this is, I don't really know where I wanted to go with this, a favorite saying that I've had. And if there's any Muslims here, or followers of Islam, I don't know the proper way to say it, but, I would really appreciate your help. I've been trying to find this saying. I had a close friend of mine, and he was a studier of the Quran. And he told me that there's a saying in there that God made you strong enough to handle anything that's thrown at you. Now, if you're a religious person, and you believe in some type of faith, I know that the Christians also have some type of saying in there. I can't reference it, but I just really like the way that it was put, that God made you strong enough to handle anything in your life. And I would tell you need to believe that, because they also say, there's another saying, tough times don't last, tough people do. And my grandpa is also infamous for saying, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. And that's just, it's all similar to like, there's things you can't control and there's things that you can control. And you just got to know what the difference is and kind of roll with the punches, So these are little like nuggets of information I'm really just trying to share to you. Hopefully they're landing. I really don't have a cohesive way in how to present these together. It's just something I think about kind of on my morning walks. And I think it's just really important to share this. Like, I'm not going to tell you I'm confident in my abilities all the time. Even if I'm doing a music video and something's up and I don't think I can do it, that's happened multiple times. But in my experience, I have always gotten the job done. And I have always been stronger than the obstacle that was put in front of me. And, again, it comes back to your mentality. Did I make mistakes? Of course. Who doesn't make mistakes? Could I have done something better? 100%. But I got it done. And I didn't think I was going to get it done. So I think if you look back and you look at all the obstacles that came up in your life, remember, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. And if your goal was just to get through it and you made it through it, good job. That's what you needed to do, and it's just, I think once you start developing this type of mentality or this thought process, nowadays, an obstacle comes up in my way. It is an obstacle. It's a headache sometimes. It's like, oh, I got to deal with that. But I know, I have confidence in myself that I will find a way through. And I can't tell you I know what way that is through, but I definitely know that, there's a solution to every problem out there. And it's something that was instilled in me by my father, my grandfather, my grandma, my cousin TJ. And there's little nuggets of information. I'm sure, your parents or your loved ones will also say similar things to you because they are wiser than you think. And usually you don't listen until a complete stranger says something along those lines. So we're just going to check in here. And we got a bunch of donations. We have already $139.63 from 11 people. So thank you, Crystal Gale, Chuppy, I hope I didn't say that wrong, Sue Hotchkiss, Conway, Navarro, Mary De Silva, T. Jean, Building an Empire from Bed. I know Carlson, Director, Discovery School. Oh, Sarah Jane, thank you. Appreciate that. And Krav Maga. So all that stuff is going to help benefit the Heal Los Angeles Foundation. I'm just trying to spread a little bit of positivity, share some nuggets of information that I think could help you guys. If you're watching this not as a live later, please feel free to sound off in the comments down below. Let us know how you feel. Any other little nuggets of information that you can kind of save, because this is stuff that isn't really taught in school, and I don't think it's taught by every parent either. I think it's something that life experience kind of gets you to, and it's not just life experience. I think it's a deep reflective state that you really need to see, how did I make it through that, or what can I do to make it better? So all I can just really recommend saying, and I want to keep doing this, sharing little nuggets of information. I think at some point we're going to start building on it. So the first one, is talking about compassion. But now I realize we have to take a step back, and we really got to start with self-love, and you got to appreciate yourself before you can truly appreciate others. Yeah, it's just, I think we really need to really learn to appreciate ourselves and to have confidence, especially if you're my age and this world is very uncertain. You know what I mean? You just get thrown in. I saw a very good post. It's about we're having kids turn into adults when a month ago they were asking to go to the bathroom. So, and that's because you're in school, and it's the gap between when we're a child and when we're treated like an adult is so small, and there's not enough of a learning difference. So it's really just trying to put out there so that you guys can see, and again, any other tips, I would love to hear them. But for me, it is mentality. It's changing these words. So if you're late, again, saying thank you for being patient. I'm trying to think of another example off the top of my head, but it's kind of evading me right now. But it definitely is important to notice the words you are using to describe yourself, I'll speak personally, I haven't been in the gym since the pandemic happened. I walk every day, but that doesn't mean that my weight is actually where it needs to be at. But it doesn't mean that you call yourself fat, because that would have obviously a negative connotation. It's more about, I need to get into the gym. I need to go out and I need to work out, or it's changing this stuff up. So it's not focusing on the negative, but focusing on the positive and building out a framework to where you can get to where you want to be. So I see somebody, Tracy Lynn Chavez, said also not complaining. I agree with that. Complaining is not great. I'm going to be a little honest, though. I'm a hypocrite when it comes to that. I complain a lot, but I feel like I complain in a joking way that it kind of makes light of the situation. And it's again, going back to it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. We got to accept that we got the suck. I don't know. There's a branch in the military says embrace the suck, So I think if you can kind of laugh at it here we go again. I think if you can maintain a positive attitude and try to really keep that, it will really flow out, and it can even rub off on other people, and you can be a beacon of light and inspiration for your peers and those around you. So yeah, I think, very important to maintain a positive mindset, a confident mindset. And honestly, I know it sounds stupid to a lot of people who haven't had that thought process yet, but all it takes is really to do it. But if you work out and you see people who are in the gym and they're swole, and you ask them, how did you get that big? All it takes is just to do it. You know what I mean? You like photography, you like videos, film. You ask anybody who's in the industry, what did it take to do it? All you got to do is just do it. And I feel like that will say, anybody that you admire, anybody in a field, whatever it is, that will say it, all it takes is just to do it. And it's the same thing when it comes to changing your mindset and thinking like that. It is difficult because, I don't know how other people think, but in my head, I hear my voice talking, right? And that doesn't mean I'm crazy. I just have an inner monologue or whatever it is. And you have to recognize when you're going down a certain thought process that is not beneficial to you. And it's only just keeping you in a cycle of a negative, stance. So very important to really catch yourself in that, and then also reframe it to be a positive thing. Because again, there are certain issues that you do need to work through. It is a big mission for us is to promote healthy and active lifestyles. It was a big mission for my father. So we don't want to just say, eat whatever you want, it'll be fine, because it isn't. You do have to take care of your bodies, but you have to understand that everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. Everybody's going to process things differently. So some people may be more ahead than others, but everybody's on their own journey, and it's not a race. So you really shouldn't compare yourself with other people. And that is the first thing that will be your downfall, and that you will really be like, I wish I was like them, or why are they so much better at it than me? And all that words are doing is saying that you're less than them, and you need to think about that, because you don't see it as that, but your subconscious is processing it as that. So now that you're thinking that, the next thoughts that come out of your head, or the next actions that come out, come from a place of you being worth less. Whereas you see somebody in the gym, they're in better shape than you. So what? You're going to get there. You got to put in the work to get there. And that's, you know what I mean? That's the mindset. You just got to believe that you can get there, and you just keep telling yourself that. And I know it may sound a little weird. Even if you don't believe it, keep telling yourself that, because what you're doing is you're feeding your subconscious, and you're going to be, programming essentially the way your conscious thought process works. And I feel like, the older I get, the more I see around my world and how stuff kind of plays out. I recognize the genius that my father had in the little messages that or the little nuggets of information he gave me, and how applicable they are, not just to my personal life, but to everybody around me. And I feel that it is important for me to share these nuggets of information, because I feel like a lot of people could benefit from them. And I feel that other people can help other people by sharing these nuggets of information. No name 11,002. I'm all over the place. You know what I mean? But they asked, is there a certain amount of money we're trying to reach for this donation? No, there's no certain amount of money we're trying to reach for any donation. Like I said earlier, it's, if you're just joining, all the money goes to the Heal Los Angeles Foundation, and we're all about healing the youth of Los Angeles in any way that we can. We believe that to be through co-curricular and educational activities. The whole purpose of this live is so I can share nuggets of information and little life experiences that I had with my father. That's the purpose of the Heal Los Angeles Foundation, is to share those experiences that I feel have made me a better person, have made me more prepared for this world, with less fortunate youth of the city of Los Angeles. So no amount of money that we're trying to reach, but anything is appreciated and greatly helped, or is a big help. We've been doing COVID-19 relief since the pandemic essentially started with Fresh and Lean. And it's crazy to think that we've been doing that for almost a year now, at least a year actually. And we've helped a lot of families through that. And for me, that's something is like, when we started with this, we had the idea that no matter what, as long as this pandemic or as this COVID-19 pandemic is happening, we were going to be there to help the community. And we have. It's awesome, So happy about that. But going back to the confidence, I'm going to talk a little bit about motorcycles. I'm sorry, but I think it's important for me, because when I ride my motorcycle, I think it helps me with my confidence. And I'm going to explain why. A lot of it's feel, touch and go. There's not really a science. Well, there is a science to it, but I don't know it. But so clutch, all this stuff, your lane splitting, and there might be a sketchy situation, or there might be a situation that I don't feel I'm prepared for. But I went to the class. I took, the necessary steps to learn. I've had a lot of road experience. So when I do get in a situation like that and I come out of it the other side, unscathed, thankfully, that's wood right there. It gives me confidence. I trusted in my gut instinct. I saw that my gut was right, and I followed it. And I think when you start to see stuff like that, for me, even if you're driving on the road, I see somebody kind of hugging the lane. I'm like, they look like they want to switch lanes. So I get past them. I look in my rearview mirror. They switched lanes. Trusted my gut instinct. And right there, that's validation. And even though that sounds like a stupid validation, it's validation. And subconsciously, it's building confidence in your gut instinct, and you will learn to trust it more. There's a little bit of science in here. I haven't done any research on this, but I'm pretty sure there's similar membranes from your brain that are in your stomach. So when people say you got a gut feeling, or you think with your stomach, it's actually coming from something, because again, I don't want to get all out there, but maybe, your brain is sending messages to your stomach to say, this is right or this isn't right. And it's just developing that skill to know to listen to it. So many people doubt themselves or doubt their thought process, but I think if you're truly committed and you're following your gut, you'll end up coming through it. I'm just going to go read through some of these comments here. Let's hit some of these questions and see what's going on. Why can't I read? Why is everybody in white? That's so weird. Okay, well, that's not going to work. We'll go back to here. So, yeah, glad everybody's here. Can't find any. Lots of stuff here. Bam. It's so funny when you start reading the comments, your face gets close and you're like, what is this? Can't see. Let me open this up. I also just want to say I got to see my grandma. I haven't seen her in a while, so I saw her the other day. That was nice. Spent some time, played some Uno outside, you know what I mean, masked up. So that was really awesome. But yeah, I think it's important. I really want to start these off on Mondays because I know Mondays are tough for a lot of people. It's the start of the new week. But even that right there, we got to change that. Why is it that Mondays are tough for people? You know, you got to go back to work, but you get to go back to work. You woke up today. It is the start of a new week. You might be able to go out and do something incredible that you didn't do last week. So I think even changing with that is like, it's Monday, but it's the start of a new week. That the start and new, those words right there have way better connotations than saying, it's Monday again, you know, and I'm guilty of that. You know, Tuesdays used to be my Monday, so I'd be like, oh, it's Tuesday, I got to go back to it. But it, you know, it's about reframing those words and everything. Once you start to do that, you'll see like it opens up so many possibilities. If we're just talking about just Monday, you know what I mean? And you can change the way you think about that. You can change the way you think about so many other things. And in my last live that I did something similar to this, I was talking about gratitude. And the older I get, the more I realize the importance of gratitude. I think that when I was younger, I would say, or I would think that gratitude would be implied. Like I could just say, oh yeah, thank you. And, you know, keep pushing. But gratitude is actually more for yourself, I think, than it is for other people. And I think it's important to recognize what you're grateful for than instead of expressing thanks. And I think that is the difference between saying thank you and expressing gratitude, because one is more selfish. And it's selfish in a good way, because when you say thank you, let's just say somebody gives you a gift and you say thank you. That's acknowledging that they gave you a gift and saying, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. And that maybe makes them feel good because they put in the time and effort to give you a gift. And then now you're saying, thank you, I really like that. Oh, yay. But I think when you go out and you say, I'm thankful for these people that I have in my life because I don't want to say because they give me gifts, because that kind of sounds materialistic, but you know what I mean. If you start to express like, I'm thankful that I have people in my life that care about me or that want to think about me, that is it's selfish because it's all revolving kind of around you, but it's expressing gratitude. And I think it's just making you more open to positivity. And that's really what all this is going to be about, is just, when I bought my motorcycle, all I see is motorcycles. When you buy a certain car, all you see is cars, or that specific car. When you start to express gratitude and appreciation and happiness, that's all you're going to see. And I think that's very important right now, because we live in a world where all types of information is accessible, and there is so much bad stuff out there, and it can be overwhelming at times, and that's understandable. But at the same time, there's so much good stuff out there, and I feel like it doesn't sell. So that's why you're not going to click on, oh my God, look at how great this person did. Unless it's a cute dog, maybe you will. But it is important for everybody to express gratitude and really pay that forward, because, you know, let's just take it. I'm an older sibling. I'm not the oldest cousin, but I'm an older sibling. So when I do things, I know my younger cousins will follow. And I think if you are an older person or an older sibling, you're going to be older than somebody at some point, you know, and you lead with love, you lead with gratitude. They're going to see the importance of that. And it's very important to, you know, damn, I messed up. How do I make this go down? There we go. No, there it is. Sorry, I had the little comment thing slide up. I couldn't see what was going on. But it is very important to set that positive role model, I guess, for the future generations. And again, that's what I'm here for, is I hope that I can share it with you guys, and that you guys can share it with your loved ones, you know. So it is very important. Keela Diaz, hope I didn't mess that up. They said, do you meditate? I don't meditate. I mean, I know the importance of meditating. If you know me, I'm very loud and I'm very, like, you know what I mean? I got to move all the time. So sitting still is kind of hard for me. But I really feel like the motorcycle is my method of meditation, and a lot of people will say that. But the reason why is because I think it's the act of being without being, and I feel like that's similar to meditation, or it's existing without existing, and it's just being really present in the moment. I ride with earplugs now. I'm going to make a tip, by the way, of video tips, and that's like tip number 1. You got to ride with earplugs. It saves your ears and your hearing. But it also tunes out a lot of stuff. So all I'm really hearing is the motor around me, and sometimes if I'm chewing, because that's it, you know. But it really helps to kind of like focus the senses down just to what's in front of me and what I'm doing. And it kind of just allows me to be, you know. So I definitely know that at some point in the future I will try to do more formal meditation, because I definitely see that it has a lot of benefits, you know. And I think there's all kinds of forms of meditation. When I used to be in art in school, I used to work on that, working with my hands. So to answer your question, no, I don't actually meditate, but in my own way, I do meditate. Let's see. Somebody said, Sophie Brand said, as a teenager, I feel it hard to have motivation to work. I get so tired for trying to be positive and do my best. Do you have tips to make it better? Well, it's tough because you have to kind of figure out where you're getting tired. Just personally, a lot of people think I'm extroverted because I have a lot of energy. I talk to people and stuff like that. But realistically, I'm introverted, and I like to have my me time, my alone time, my bike time. You know what I mean? So at some point, you know, I can get burnt out because I'm putting too much of myself out there. So if that's the case, it's important to recognize that and to take some self-care for yourself, some time, you know what I mean? It's unfortunate that maybe some of your friends may need you at that time, but you do have to take you can't help others unless you help yourself first. You can't love others unless you love yourself first. And, you know, that's one side of it. The other side of it is just that sometimes it is tough to maintain being positive through like all these trials and tribulations that we find in life. But if you stick with it, you'll start to realize your tolerance for stuff just gets way higher, you know, and you'll realize that happiness is the answer because it is how you deal with it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't, you know. Sometimes what it is, it's not happy. It's not an ideal situation for you, but you kind of got to try and find the silver lining, the light at the end of the tunnel, whatever it is. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe it's, you know, I don't know. It's just trying to keep the mood, I guess, happy. But that's also like, I don't want to ever recommend not addressing the issues. I really do encourage addressing issues head on, but not in an aggressive way, because in my experience, aggression doesn't solve anything. You know, even though I am guilty of it and I get aggressive, but it has never been the solution unless I'm driving and riding, you know, but that's it. Let's see here. Going through all these questions, sorry. Madeline said, how do you switch your mentality? Because I have a hard time doing so as well as others. Yeah, and that is the toughest part of it, you know, and this is going to be hard to explain because it's going to really sound like that woo, woo, wah, wah, out there stuff. And maybe it is, but it isn't, because in my personal experience, I've seen it work. And I guess that anybody else who's preaching or proselytizing, whatever the word is, they're also saying that they've seen it work. So it is the toughest part. But once you start to realize, just if you're just now joining us when I was talking about changing the words that you use from negative to positive, even if it's like if you're being late, instead of saying sorry for being late, you say thank you for being patient. That takes out the negative words such as sorry and late and reinforces it with thank you for being patient. So that's really where it starts. It's honestly, and this is going to sound a little bad, but it's almost like being fake for a little bit. You know, when after my dad died, you know, I made a conscious decision. I can live my life happier. I can live my life sad, and I can let it, you know, basically ruin the rest of my life. And I said, I wanted to be happy. Then when I went to school with kids my own age, I saw that a lot of them needed help in trying to figure out not necessarily who they were, but really just how to maintain a positive mindset. And it was because of that I really decided that I was going to just continue to be happy. So even if I was having a hard day, I would still smile and I would still, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Keep that energy high. Because at some point throughout the day, you'll realize that whatever's bothering you, you almost forgot about it because now you're genuinely being happy. There's some type of scientific thing where serotonin is what makes you happy. It's a chemical in your body. And when you smile, you release serotonin. So even if it's a fake smile, it will still make you feel a little bit happier. And that's something that I used to encourage to everybody at school. I would say, smile, smile. Hey, it's a great day. Smile. And I don't take myself seriously, so people would think I'm joking. They may even laugh at me, but they're smiling and they're laughing. And what I went out to do was to make somebody else happy. And that made me happy. So it's kind of like this thing we're feeding off of each other. You know what I mean? And I could be having a bad day, but I'm still putting on that happy front. And that's where it feels a little ingenuine, is because when you first start doing this, it does feel ingenuine. It feels fake. It feels like you're lying. But that is because you're trying to reprogram your brain that's been telling you to think sad, for such a long time. So, I wish there was, and at some point I hope to do more. We've got I'm editing right here, but we've got a raffle for another Zoom coming up soon through Heal Los Angeles. That's been a great platform to get to know all of my dad's fans and really get to speak with you guys. But hopefully as we start to move out of this pandemic and we start to get back to what we used to be like and we start to interact, I think it'd be great to have some type of, group conversations. Because I enjoy talking. I can talk forever, but I like to have conversations with other people to really hear the other thought process, because I can only tell you what I've experienced and I can only tell you through my eyes, but I can't see your experiences and I can't help that really, apply to it. And again, I feel like I also got to say, because I saw my cousins and TJ and them, I'm not a therapist, not licensed or anything like that. All I'm trying to do is help people think positively, help people have these life-changing experiences that I had because of my father, and these nuggets of information that he's passed down, I feel are so important and so invaluable that they need to be shared. So what's going on, Brazil? My auntie's dog is called Prince. My auntie Latoya's dog was called Prince. Unfortunately, he passed away. Very sad. A lot of my family members' dogs died this past year. Some said, I'm Michael's PYT, said, don't say I miss your dad. Say I'm happy your dad was here. That is a great example right there, is that just speaking to myself personally is, when my dad died, you make this conscious decision, is that I can let it ruin my life and be sad and just think about it and sulk all day, or in spite of all that, I can be happy. And I think that's a great example right there that you just said. So thank you for that, because instead of saying I miss my dad, because there's nothing that we're going to do that's going to bring him back, it's being appreciative and expressing gratitude for the time that I did have with him. And I really want to thank you for that. I got to go back. I think it was Michael's PYT, but that is a fantastic example right there. One that I actually haven't truly thought about in that direct of a way. But yes, that is very correct. And it brings in that expressing gratitude, how that can make you feel better. And even the purpose of this live is that I'm expressing gratitude for the nuggets of information that my father gave me and giving them to you. Unfortunately, I'm not giving them to you as best as he gave them to me, but as this goes on, it gets better, or I'll get better, and I'll get better at sharing it with you. So, and then, just going through these comments. I want to keep them around 30 minutes because I know that people may start to get bored, or, maybe you can just listen to it in your car to start your day. I don't really know. But yeah, just going to go through here. Let's read some of these comments. Yeah, this is weird. I don't understand how Instagram works sometimes. And yeah, so let's see here. Let's see. Go back through it. So somebody said, yeah, there you are. I'm Michael's PYT. Really appreciate that comment. It was very awesome. And if you guys are listening to anything that I am saying today, if you can take anything away, it is to have confidence in yourself. When I was in high school, I BS'd all my work. And I was like, is this what life is about? Like, are adults just kind of BSing their way through stuff? And the answer is yes. Yes, they are. Because when I've had to rub shoulders with some adults, some of them really know what they're talking about. And those people are geniuses and they stand apart from the rest. But I'm going to tell you, like 85, 90% of people, no clue what they're talking about. And they're kind of just making it up as they go along. That's in my experience, but it's right. It's right. And I would just have confidence in yourself. You know, you're going to figure it out. And that's something that TJ always tells me. And I'm like, how do you know I'm going to figure it out? You don't know what's going on in my life. And I don't know what's going on in your life. But I have confidence in your ability as a human being to go and achieve your goals. Whatever goal it is that you're looking for, I have the utmost confidence in you that you can make it. And you just have to have that confidence in yourself. And for you, in order to have confidence in somebody else achieving their goals, you have to have confidence in yourself. For you to love somebody else, you got to love yourself. You have to appreciate gratitude for the stuff that you have, the stuff that you can bring. Now, don't get cocky about it. You know what I mean? But like, it is, I'm grateful that I have this platform to share with people, that I can share these nuggets of information. I'm grateful that I had such an incredible father to give me these life experiences. It's so awesome to express gratitude. So yeah, it's really cool. You know, I don't know. I'm editing some videos over here. I'll show you guys right there. That's the Sedona motorcycle trip for when we went on that little road trip out there, and that was something nice. You know, I think it's just, there's so many little nuggets of information. I really got to think and how I'm going to present them to you. But I think in conclusion for today, it's having confidence in yourself, you know, and it's having that mentality that no matter what happens, you'll be fine. Because it's hard to say that no matter what happens, you will be fine, because you have to know that you will be fine. And once you have that know inside you, you will be fine. I promise you, you will find a way to make it through. And you'll look back and be I don't want to say thankful that it happened, but you will understand how it made you a stronger person. And just keep pushing, you know. There's a lot of great, beautiful stuff out there in this world, and we all got to experience it. So I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to the future. I think we have a lot of positive stuff as we start to slowly open back up, come back together. And there's going to be our fair share of obstacles. Everybody's going to have them, but I believe in you. You guys can do it. You just got to make sure that you believe in yourself. You know, and as weird as that sounds, that's some Disney stuff to say. And I'm saying it with the Harley Davidson stuff on, you know what I mean? But trust me, okay? Trust me. You just got to keep working on it. Yeah. Beth Max said, smile, though your heart is aching. It's a great song. It's a great message. And it's something I live my life by. You know, a smile is a amazing thing. Okay. Like I said, it can release serotonin in your body. It can change your day. It can change somebody else's day. I actually found out this is something that's weird that Americans do, or from a European perspective, I guess, is something that Americans do. When we make eye contact with each other, we smile. Like if I see a stranger, we go, you know what I mean? I feel like I found out that's an American thing to do, but I don't know why. I was telling my girlfriend about this, actually. I hang out, you know, I ride, I go, and I see bikers, really bad bikers, you know what I mean? Tattoos on their throats and stuff like this. And some of them are bad. Some of them are just like cool guys, and we're judging a book by its cover. But I'm usually looking at their tattoos because I like tattoos, or I'm looking at their bikes, and sometimes I end up staring too hard and I don't realize I'm staring. So then they mean mug me back, and this is what I do. A smile is so disarming, yo. It really changes the tone. You know what I mean? I have like everybody who's looked at me back has either smiled, like nodded, or just looked away. And that was it, you know? And either because they're too angry to smile back, but I feel like you share that smile. You know what I mean? It almost forces people to smile, or tell them, smile. So yeah, I think that's it for today, you guys. Remember to smile. You know, thank you. I'm Michael PYT. I think that was such a great little insight you added right there. Smile. Whoever said smile though your heart is aching. I'm sorry. I messed up your name. I don't know where it is, but I really appreciate that. I'm going to leave this video up on my timeline and my feed. So, you know, feel free to comment down below whatever it is that you guys think would actually help people benefit from this, because I would like it to be a positive place for people to discuss and maybe share tips on how you can make yourself happier. You know, if that's that's not really what I'm looking for, but it's really to promote and project happiness from within. And it's really just to accept that. So thank you guys. Really appreciate that. We had almost 900 people and joining us. I think at the most we had 1,000. We're going to wrap it up with how many donations. We have made $422.81. So thank you, Tez92. Thank you, Daniel 19417. Mr. Flasktastic. Jessa loves MJ. Jenny Lynn, Leah Jackson. Laying back in his tenderness 82. Jaliaz. Kimmy's back, GLA, Elizabeth Trinder, Divinity in Motion, Mayor Osana. I'm just messing up people's names at this point. Vav 21996, Emmanuel Stewart, Evangelist, Wittenberg Mark, Yes Medina, the MJ Items, Divinity in Motion, Cowie Girl, Punky Chrissy, Ree Gomez, Crystal Gale, Chuppy. So thank you guys. Really appreciate those donations. Trust me, it's going to go a long way, especially within the communities of Los Angeles. And within the future, we're going to try and reach out and touch as many people as we can because we're all in this together and we got to start the healing process. So thank you guys. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If it wasn't, please let me know how I can actually be more of assistance in the comments once this video is uploaded. But I hope you guys have a great, fantastic week. And remember, it is the start of a new week. It is not Monday, but it is the start of a brand new week. So let's keep with that mentality. And you guys stay safe out there.